looks like. Well, actually, still says preview. There we go. Now we're live. All right, so we are here back with our Dungeon Crawl Classics one-on-one campaign in the Death-Rolled Kingdoms of a thousand islands. Nikki is my. Actually, still says preview. There we go. Now we're live. Oh, hold on. All right, so we are here. There you go. I was waiting for that to happen. Okay. All right. Anyways, back to this. We've got Nikki here. She is my player in this one-on-one campaign, which we are in, I believe, session 14. It's only taken them, because you play multiple characters, I don't know, 10 days, roughly, to make it 6 days up the river, which isn't too bad. Maybe a little bit more than 10 days. But in any case, having been sent upriver by the archaeologist, sir, in search of the fort with the red walls, too smooth to climb, no entrance, in search of a book that he wants you to find and destroy. So you do, in fact, see, as we left last session, you guys had beached up, because it's not just your two characters anymore. But I guess you can tell me about that, or tell everybody about that. But you are maybe 100 yards away from this place, if I remember right. And you see that it's got very tall walls, maybe some like 30-foot tall red walls. You don't see any entrance from your distance. So yeah, go ahead and tell us what your characters there, Nikki, and what's going on. Maybe a little bit of the history or whatever you'd like to share.
All right, I have Yuna and Orin. Yuna's a thief and Orin is a wizard. And we have collected quite the party here of NPCs. We have met a dolphin herder named Violet. She has 2 dolphins, purple and lavender, and she is looking for snakestone, as her boyfriend, Chartreuse, sold fake snakestone to the Starlight Grins gang, who we encountered trying to assault a young man from Candice, who happened to be the ambassadors from Candice's son, and the person that Jolo, the half-sword, was actually looking for. On our way there, we also met a woman named Diane, who is looking for a demon tiger. And she is also traveling with us at this moment. So we have a dolphin herder, a half-sword, a young man from Candice, and someone looking for a demonic tiger right now in our party. Plus Maya, can't forget Maya.
Right.
Here for the adventure.
Right, she is the older lady out in search of adventure after having her 16 children and 42 grandchildren. She wants to do something for herself. So, yeah, so you guys have arrived. I guess you arrived at the end of the day, so you had set up camp. I don't know if there's anything special you want to do that night. I think we kind of ended it right there, if I remember right.
We did, yes. Mm-hmm.
So, of course, you can set up campfire along the shore like you have been doing. As the sun is dropping, you do see this red fort, like say maybe 100 yards or so out. The area around it is pretty bare, like of trees and such. So you've got like I don't want to say a ring because it's not perfectly round, but an area around it, let's say about half the distance, maybe 50 yards, that seems to be, to use the word dead might be a little bit, but we'll say that there's not any trees or anything growing there. Well, how about that? That seems like a fair way to say it.
Yeah.
So what would you like to do?
Is the ground sandy? Is it rocky? Is it just...
It looks like it probably is primarily grassy and kind of like a hard dirt. You see some stones, kind of scattered about, but not in any kind of a structure, just like kind of sticking out of the ground. So you would say it's probably a rough mix of dirt and stone with some grasses. It's much more healthy, we'll say, right at the edge of the woods near the river where you are. And then as it gets closer to the fort, they seem to mostly go away. You just see like kind of like dry grasses there, and maybe like some crabgrass, stuff that's really hardy, seem to be closer to the fort.
Okay. What I want to do, well, it's getting late, right?
Yeah, it's evening time. Getting dark. Shouldn't be getting dark.
Oren wants to, He's talking to a slug about demon tigers, since it's a demon slug.
Right.
He wants to see if there's anything in his library book that might be able to help us.
Oh, the book.
Tonight. Yeah.
Okay. About?
Well, we have this big red wall. And there's no way to tell if there's anything between us and the wall that we can't see, like traps on the ground and stuff like that.
Okay.
Or underground.
Right. Okay. So he's looking for any information about the surrounding, the close vicinity, I guess, surrounding areas of the Red Fort. If there's anything in that book about that.
Correct.
Which book do you have again?
Or if there's anything, the one with the, it's written in fire or something like that.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I have it here. Hang on. I have to find it. I saved it when you sent it to me. I can't find it.
I'm trying to find it as well. It's written in fire, is it? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Ensidion of Thenora.
That's it. Yep.
Fire runes upon silk pages. It once belonged to the halfling archmage Fernan, who perished in the gloomy moor. Oh yeah, actually, this halfling archmage is pretty wise. Yeah, go ahead and make a luck check.
Okay. Yeah, because I saved it somewhere and I can't find it. Luck check. No.
Yeah, nothing that seems to directly pertain to the fort at all, actually. But of course, not every book can have every answer.
Exactly. I will look at the half sword and I'll ask him, you seem wise and, well, if not wise, at least capable. Do you know anything about this place?
Zola? He, yeah. Does he know anything about that? Well, I mean, of course, there's plenty of legends about the impenetrable Red Fort. Mostly they center around the fact that it's impenetrable. They say that there are no entrances that can be seen from the outside.
No entrances that can be seen.
From the outside.
And we've heard there are demons inside.
Well, that makes sense. I mean, demons have to live somewhere.
Right. I look at Diane and I say, this is the place you were looking for, yes?
She looks at she says, I think so, yes. I have heard that demons live here, and I must slay the demon tiger so that I can become empress.
So would you like to come with us when we try to go in to the fort or to the place?
Oh, yes. Okay. Definitely.
And this wall is very smooth. There wouldn't be any way to climb it, correct?
I mean, that's what you've heard. I mean, you're pretty far away from it. You're like a football field away, and it's the end of the day. It looks pretty smooth. I mean, you don't see any like masonry. It looks flat, basically. Either possibly made out of like a single piece of something, which seems possible, or possibly it's been, stuccoed or whatever, like covered up, so it's a single piece, plastered, I guess would be the word.
Okay.
It's hard to see from far away.
Okay. Well, I think we'll camp for the night, and we will tackle this in the morning
Okay.
during the day when I can see a little bit better.
Yeah, I mean, that seems reasonable. Yeah, so you set up for camp. I mean, you've got a relatively large party. You, you built some campfires. You've already dragged your boats up onto the shore. The dolphins are kind of in the water. I'm not going to say that they're playing because the water is only like a few inches deep, but they're just kind of rolling back and forth as best they can, just to get themselves wet. And, Violet is kind of sitting by the shore watching them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll a d6.
D6? Okay. 4.
4. Okay. Well, that's a good roll.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. You are camping. When you hear, sounds like somebody's walking through the water. It's a bit dark now. It's a clear night though, and there's stars and such out, so you can kind of, you can see a decent area around. Obviously, you're near the fire, so your eyes are adjusted to that. But maybe whoever's on watch is sitting further away from the fire, so they don't get affected by it. But you hear somebody walking. It sounds like they're whistling, and they're walking up the water towards your direction. Like a whistle.
Yeah, whistling. Yeah. We'll stand up.
Mm-hmm.
She's a little bit nervous since they're finally at their destination. And she'll kind of walk towards them, away from the fire, quietly.
You're going to walk towards the shore?
Yes.
Riverbed bank, I guess would you call it? Yeah, you can definitely do that. When you do, and I guess you look down the river because that's where the footsteps are coming from, you see, actually, you met this guy before. You see somebody who you've seen before. You might remember him as Kalava.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's barrel chested. He's got just like you spent an evening with him, I believe, right? He has just
yeah, he's the guy. He's on vacation.
He's on vacation. He's camping. Yeah, and he's kind of walking up the river. He's got his bag, whatever he has got, his equipment, his gear, whatever you want to call it, kind of strapped around himself. He's got currently he has like a stick that he seems to be using. It's not like a walking stick as he kind of walks his way up through the canal. He's kind of pretty carelessly walking and whistling, and then he does see you and he stops. And he kind of squints a little bit, and then he probably recognizes you because it's fairly bright out. He says, Yuna, you've continued on your journey.
Yes, Kalava. Are you still on your vacation?
Yes, when you're a dockhand like me, we get good vacation. 3 weeks a year.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, the supervisors get 4 weeks. I don't think that's fair, but they also have to deal with, the rest of us in the class.
Of course. But I thought your furlough was a week or so.
Yes, but I decided to extend it a bit because, as I said, I have 3 weeks a year. That I'm just going to use more of it now.
Well, if I had 16 children, I might not want to go home yet either.
He smiles. He says, well, it's true. that I do have 16 children, and sometimes I miss them, but a man must have his time alone as well.
Yes, and all of your wives.
Yes, well, no, they don't need any time alone. They like being with the children. You
Well,
know.
I meant you might need time away from your wives. You know.
Oh, well. Yeah, sure. I mean, it doesn't. I mean, sometimes when it's cold at night, but talk about such things as I stand in here. The goldfish are listening.
This is very true. We have a camp and a fire, and would you like to join us?
Oh, that would be wonderful. Yeah, and he starts walking towards you. Splash, 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 splash. He comes
Yeah.
back.
I'll lead him back to the camp.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Looks around. He greets people. Various people. He sees. I guess he already met Warren and Maya, right? So he nods in recognition. It's good to see you both and to share a fire again. As much as I like my solitude, sometimes it's good to break it up with some human interaction, if you know what I mean. No offense, he says to the man from Candies.
Right. Kalava, have you ever traveled up this far? Have you ever approached this red wall?
No, not at all, actually. I generally stay to the river, or the canal, rather. It's pretty shallow up here. I like the deeper water.
Oh, yes, it is very shallow. What brought you up here then this time?
Well, you got to always look for new areas. One can't spend too much time in one place, or he'll become known for that place. And I would not like to be known for some random forest.
Guess that makes sense. Una says. Well, tomorrow I'm going to try to get into this place.
Oh, well, that's very exciting. I don't think the crocodiles will like that. I've heard there's magic in there.
Well, it was a crocodile who asked me to come here.
Oh, I didn't know that you were friendly basis with crocodiles.
Oh, yes, I have many friends.
Ooh.
Well, with one crocodile. Well, two, actually. Crocodiles I'm friends with.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
This is so interesting. They don't easily make friends with those of us who are not like them, I found.
No, but we helped one at one point, and this one we're doing. He did me a favor, so I'm doing him this favor. It's how you make friends. You help. You do favors.
I see. Well, that is very interesting. Perhaps they're changing.
Well, from what I've heard, they weren't mean to humans. They just didn't really care. Right?
Isn't that worse in some ways?
Sometimes. But you've lived in Singa your whole life. Surely you've made friends with one or two at some point.
No, they don't. They look at us stock hands as just a tool. I've barely had any interaction with the crocodiles.
Well, it's a shame. They seem quite fascinating.
I suppose you could think that.
Well, but some women have had children with them. It can't be all bad.
I'm not so sure that's something that women should be doing.
Oh. She looks at Maya because she knows Maya has.
Yeah, Meg kind of looks. She's not even really paying attention. She says, "What should we do?"
Never mind. 3 weeks. 3 weeks vacation, huh, Kalava?
Right. 3 weeks. Well, in the furlough.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if it wasn't for my family, I don't know if I would go back at all. To be honest, there must be better kingdoms where man is considered superior. Don't you think?
Well, I came from a place where there weren't any kind of talking intelligent crocodiles at all. To the south,
That sounds like heaven.
well, I mean, there were strange horses that turned into men, but that was magic.
Magic horses. You're very fascinating, I am just a simple dock hand. Maybe one of my children will someday leave. Who knows? Or maybe the damn crocodiles will.
You really don't like them, do you?
Oh, no. I just don't care.
I see. Isn't that worse?
He smiles at you.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, we'll take our rest.
Okay, yeah, you definitely do that. He once again he has stuff to share if you want. And you guys have food and stuff, so I'm assuming everybody kind of shares food. You guys can take turns doing guard shifts or whatever throughout the night. It's pretty uneventful. Um,
Okay.
the sun, rises the next morning. It's bright, sunny. You see the light reflecting off that kind of the plane. You can see that now that the sun's kind of coming up at the angle, this dirt area has a lot of probably like very crushed at this point from like in it. So the fields almost look like they have like a shine to them, almost like water. At first you see sparkles off of it. And of course, then you look out, and first the red walls are in shadow, and then little by little the sun starts to come up and reflect off of them.
Nice.
But they're kind of uh, they're not so reflective, especially not compared to the rocks on the ground. They look almost like they're dull, like almost like flat as far as color. But I mean, they're still red. They're pretty. They're like almost like a very very dark, like strawberry red.
Flat. Okay.
About 30 feet high. And the entire thing, I mean, as far as you can tell, because it's relatively round, um, you can see it stretches out for like hundreds of yards, beyond. Like you're looking at like the front of it or whatever, or the side of it, whatever, and you can see that it goes pretty far. It looks like a pretty large structure, like a large area very covered.
Well, Orin, I suppose we have no choice but to try to cross this field as carefully as we can. We have a grappling hook, we have rope. Either we can climb the walls. Oh, but I have the blasting powder too. That is a last resort, as that will alert everything inside to our presence. So, yes. We're going to go scout it out. So we're going to go Does Kalava, he leaves, right?
No, I mean he's I mean, did you? I mean, it depends on how long you take to go. I mean, when you get up in the morning, he's still talking. He's talking half sword, and you know, Maya seems to be smiling for some reason, and you know, he's sharing breakfast or whatever. But it depends on how early you go. He doesn't leave before breakfast. That's for sure.
Okay. I'd ask him. I want to ask him if he's seen any strange men in the woods since we talked last.
Let's see. There were a group of men that I saw the other day, maybe 2 days ago, maybe a dozen or so. They didn't look like they were camping, that's for sure. They looked like they were marching, but not very organized, kind of like undisciplined soldiers.
And it could have been the Silver Teeth Gang.
Oh, yeah, I didn't
whatever they're called.
That's
Starlight Grin's gang.
Oh, I've heard of them.
Okay.
They say that the Bard of Singa was trying to join that gang at one point. He got his tongue changed to silver.
That's right, the Silver-Tongued Bard. I've heard of him.
Yes.
All right. Are you going to continue on, or are you going to stay a little longer, Kalava?
Well, I mean, being that I've got a couple of weeks, I try to take my time. I might hang out in this general area, if you don't mind.
Oh, no, I don't mind. Does he look like he has any weapons on him? Just out of curiosity.
No, I mean, you know from before that he has like a big like cleaver in his bag because he used it in front of you. But he's not wearing a sword I mean, he has a stick, but it's not really much of a spear. But he's not wearing any kind of visible weapon. No.
All right.
He's only got really that small bag. So if he does have anything, it's not very big. But you do know that he has that.
He has the cleaver.
Cleaver, yeah. So that would be a weapon, I guess.
Okay. Well, we're here for the red wall.
Yeah.
Yep.
Here, hold on a second. I'm gonna show you what he looks like.
Oh, okay.
I think I described him correctly. I can't remember now. Yeah. Hey there.
All right.
That's what it looks like. And then add like he's got like a sling with his stuff in it. Kind of like the similar thing to what the half sword has, except the half sword has a sword, of course, because he has the half sword.
Because and a sword for on his face.
Yeah, and he also has a sword in his face. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, that's not really. I mean, I guess he could. Well, you don't know if he could use his weapon or not. You haven't seen him. He's not offered. He has a sword in his back. The sword that he used to kill people was just a regular sword. I mean, it was an unusual sword for where you're from because this area has like different types of weapons, but it was basically a sword. This guy just has a cleaver.
Just has a cleaver.
And a stick, which could be a staff, I guess, or a spear. But he certainly doesn't have any kind of large weapon.
All right. Well, Diane,
Yep.
Would you like to come with us to scout out this wall?
Yes, she does. She has weapons.
Okay.
She has. I think she has a spear. Yeah, she's armed. Pretty well.
All right, so we're going to move towards the wall.
Okay.
But There's no really way to sneak up there, so because there's no trees.
Yeah, it's pretty much an open area. Well, I mean, you could circle around the place to see if there's any. From what you can see, though, unless on the very far side of it, it's closer to trees. From what you can see, 'cause you can it's roundish. You can kind of see the sides.
Right.
It looks like it's barren always around you.
All right. Well, we'll kind of stay. Yeah, we'll go circle around it instead of crossing directly
Okay.
forward. We'll go around and just kind of look.
All right. Cool. Make a luck check.
Okay. Make Orin carry the keg of blasting powder. With his. Oh, yeah, 3 under.
Oh, nice.
9 under 12.
Excellent. So you all right, just so we get the whole thing straight. So you're traveling, Una and Orin, of course. You've got Deanne and also Jolo the half sword with you. Everybody else is staying back, right? As far as
Yes.
yeah. I mean, Maya only goes if you tell her to. Basically, she's happy to take her share for guarding the boat, and she seems to be enjoying her conversations with the new visitor. So, and of course, the ambassador's son is he's nervous, of course, for Jolo, but he stays back as well.
And I tell Violet I will look for snake stone.
Right, and Violet will stay back because if you don't ask her to come, because she's not really much of a fighter either. Okay, yeah, cool. So you circle around. You're making your way around the what appears to be round, roundish in shape again. I mean, walls. They're pretty steadily about 30 feet tall. Even where you can see like the land, you can see parts of the land where it seems to go up and down. The top of the wall stays very even. It does definitely look very smooth. You're seeing it in the daylight now. You're still pretty far away. But as you kind of circle around the back, unfortunately, there are no trees that are near it. But you're in the tree line. You see there's a woman. Well, I mean, okay. There's three things. Okay. There's a man. He is basically kneeling on the ground, like his knees are on the ground, then he's like leaning forward with his hands in front of him, kind of bent over, right? Standing next to him is a woman. She's quite short, maybe somewhere in the vicinity of 4 feet tall. She does, in fact, have what appears to be a foxtail. And in front of her, there is a monkey. The monkey's head, like from where this part of its skull is like tipped open, and you can see the brain. And it looks like she's taking some kind of very long needle and sticking into the monkey's brain, and then sticking it into the man's back.
Okay.
Actually, roll a d6 to see if you surprised her, because maybe you'll get more information if you get closer to her without.
Okay. I rolled a 3.
Okay, you did not surprise. Yeah, so yeah, she kind of, you're that's about all you can make out from the distance that you're at before she looks up at you, and she kind of just looks at you quizzitively.
Yeah, I think I'd look at her kind of weirdly as well.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't expect to see anybody out here.
Well, I could say the same. I don't have another appointment for a few days. I hope you didn't. Also, you do not look like you're from Candice.
Oh, no, I am not from Candice.
Yes, because my next client is from Candice.
Well, I don't even know what you do. What are you doing? It seems very odd.
She kind of looks at you like a little confused, and she says, I am Killian.
Gillian?
Killian?
I look at the hash sword and
He actually got his arms crossed in front of him, and he's smiling a big smile. He says, she's not from around here. Killian is the most famous of the tattoo artists in all of the Death Roll Kingdoms.
Oh.
Her tattoos are said to be magical. And he kind of says that sarcastically. And she kind of squints. And the guy that's just being tattooed is just kind of sitting there. And the monkey is eating a banana.
Tattoo artist. Fascinating.
Yeah.
And it seems like a strange technique you have. May I watch you for a minute?
Sure. Be my guest. Mm-hmm.
She just has a fox tail. She's not like fox faced or anything.
Nope. Her body seems to be, I mean, the rest of her body, her face, her limbs all seem to be more or less human. You know, I mean, she looks, except for the fact that she's kind of tiny. I mean, she's not too super tiny. She's like 4 feet tall, so I mean, she's, you know, but she seems like, you know, diminutive, I guess is the way to say it. Other than that, and the foxtail, of course, which is quite large, and the fact that she's, you know, using a monkey's brain to tattoo. So
yeah.
So yeah, so you walk up and you can see that she is actually making a tattoo on this man's back. It kind of has the shape of a crocodile. It's quite intricate and quite beautiful. She seems to be about, you know, maybe halfway done from what you can tell. Depending, you don't know how much she's gonna do.
Are your tattoos truly magical?
In order for magic to be real, one must believe in it. Do you believe in magic?
You know, I actually do. I do. I've seen it. I smile at Oren.
Well, without being too complicated, it really comes down to what the monkey eats.
Oh, I understand.
Yes. If the monkey eats certain things, then the tattoo has certain properties. And yes. So, to answer the question, it can be, but it depends on what the monkey eats.
Do people request certain things of the monkey, like that he eat oranges or?
Yes. Yes. Well, people have tried to make the monkey eat so many different things. The monkey does not eat anything it does not want to, or he doesn't want to, I should say. When she says it looks out bad.
Well, he's eating a banana now. What will that do?
Well, that makes him happy. He likes to eat bananas, that's for sure. Can I have another banana? I'd like a banana all day long.
Would he eat? Would he eat honeycomb?
Would you eat honeycomb, Sylvester? And the monkey looks up and he says, you know, he makes monkey talk. And she says, yes, he does like honeycomb.
Well, maybe I should make an appointment. We could have him eat honeycomb and you could tattoo me and I could see if something happens.
Well, that's certainly possible. Let me look at my schedule.
Yes, when is your next? We're doing something today, but.
Well, as I told you, I don't have. My next tattoo is not for 2 days because this one takes a bit. This
right.
man, he can only take so much at a time.
Ah, I see.
Yeah, so she, you know, she sticks the needle back in the monkey's brain, and then she you know, reaches down on the ground and a sack that she has, and she pulls out like a book, and yeah, roll a d14.
D14. Okay. 7.
In 7 days, I have an appointment.
Oh, I'm not sure that will work. I do have to return my library books.
Well, it doesn't. You don't need to do it here. The monkey travels
7 days in Singa.
in Singa. That's going to cost you extra.
Or we could meet in Sajaya.
One day up the Goldfish Canal from Sajaya.
Deal.
Okay. It's nuts. And she says, and what will you pay with?
Well, what do you like? What do you like to be paid in? I could do coins. I could try to get some Tohei leather. I could get daggers, or I could bring you what would you like? I have silver teeth.
Kind of looks at you. Bring me something from inside this fort.
Something from where?
From inside the fort.
Oh.
And then
Do you know a way in?
Nobody knows the way in.
Well, we're going to find a way in. I will bring you something from inside the fort.
I look forward to it.
7 days, babe.
Yes.
It was very nice to meet you, Killian. My name is Yuna.
Nice to meet you. She looks at Half Sword and she says, how did the tattoo work out for you? And he's kind of like squints, and then he turns and walks away.
Oh, all right. Well, we'll continue to look around. And as we walk, I would like to ask the half sword about that. She tattooed you. What did you get? If it's not too personal a question.
Well, maybe someday I will show you.
Was it magical?
I think so.
What did the monkey eat?
Taro root.
Taro root. Well, when you're ready, I would love to see it. She seems quite like a talented artist.
Yes, she certainly is.
All right, let's try to find a way into this place. We're going to continue to walk.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you circle around. It probably takes you an hour or more, taking your time, watching, whatever, maybe a little bit longer than that, maybe 2 hours even, including this conversation with the tattoo artist. And you end up back more or less where you started. This place looks to be a complete circle, for the most part, a ring, yeah, exactly. Approximately 30 foot high. These red walls, they're all. There's not even like that you could make out any cracks. I mean, of course, you were pretty far away, but you don't see any cracks or discoloration. It looks like the whole thing looks like one solid piece.
Okay. what I'm going to do, Yuna is gonna walk up there.
Okay. Now you're back basically near the camp where you started.
Right.
So you're just gonna go from that spot.
No, she's gonna go around to the right. I guess it would be, it's the same either way, so just a little bit further to the right,
Okay.
away from the shore.
Okay, so deeper into the land.
Yes.
All right, you can do it. You're just gonna walk up there by yourself, leave the rest of the party back.
Yes.
All right. Yeah, I mean the sun's a bit higher in the sky now, and like I said, you definitely see now as you're walking across, you can see that it almost looks like, and you can see some of these stones that are stuck up that seem to be dotted and covered in this like formica. So you got the glint of it, and you can see that some have been clearly crushed to the ground, where it's almost like a dust. Most of the grasses here that are growing are these kind of like tough brown type that kind of can withstand like the lack of water or whatever, maybe the soil not being so friendly to plant life. Um, and if you kind of crunching along as you move up towards the wall, as you get closer to it, you really get a feel for how big it is. I mean, it's 30 feet tall, so
Yeah, it's big.
you start to get close to it, and next thing you know, it's like it's all you can see in front of you for the most part, unless you really tilt your head up. And yeah, you can walk right up to it. Nothing stops you or anything, and it appears to be pretty smooth and red and uh, kind of flat. Like I said, like it's not shiny. Like it's not, so it's not like marble. It almost looks like a hard, like some kind of like rough stone, except for it's not rough. It's completely smooth. It's unusual to see something that's so smooth that's not shiny.
Right. I'm just gonna put my hand on it, see if it responds in any way to touch.
Um, yeah, you touch it. I mean, it feels like stone. Basically, it feels a little warm because the sun's been on it. But maybe you put some pressure on it or whatever. It doesn't like sink in or change. I think it feels like you're touching a wall.
Okay.
If you were to close your eyes and touch the wall, you wouldn't have known this wall from any other wall that you've touched in the past, probably.
All right. And there's no writing on it anywhere that I could tell.
Writing? No.
No. Okay. I do have climb sheer surfaces.
Yeah, I mean, you could try to climb the wall. It's going to be a DC 25.
Oh boy.
Yeah, because it is. Yeah, it would take practically an act of God to get up this wall. It's so smooth.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to go back to my group. And I'm going to say, I don't know a way in yet. I don't think I can climb it. I really don't want to blow it up. Is there a way to tell, does it look like it's sitting on the ground directly, or does it look like you could dig underneath? Just curious.
Oh. I mean, it was hard to say, but I think, I guess you would check it when you were there. If you took like your foot and kind of like dug around the foundation a little bit, you would get the sense that it goes into the ground a bit. You don't know how much, of course, without taking a shovel out, but it's not like, if you dug down like an inch, let's say, it's more than that into the ground for sure.
Okay.
So it's not just digging on the ground. That doesn't mean you can't dig under it, but you just don't know how down you'd have to dig.
It could take forever. All right.
Yeah, I mean, or not. I mean, try. It is hard soil, but
Right.
give it a
But
shot.
the half sword can do more with half a sword.
Half shovel.
Mm. All right. I'm going to chance it. going to try to climb the wall. I have a +7.
Oh, that's not bad. It's not
And I'm
possible.
going to tell Orin to be ready to cast Featherfall. That's what I'm going to do.
Okay, do it. Let's go for it. 20 DC 25.
Right. So I have to roll like an 18. I mean, it's probably not going to happen. But
Well, you never know.
you never know. Oh, no.
Yeah, you. I mean, I technically, I guess you could climb halfway and fall back down. But it's only 15 feet, so I'm not, whatever. He can cast Featherfall, or well, I guess if you don't want to take any damage, because you technically would take damage for 10 feet falling, right?
Yes.
See, normally, I was about to say, oh, don't worry about it. You can cast Featherfall, but now I'm remembering this CCC, and something crazy might happen when you cast it, and you know I want that. So,
Okay. I will cast Featherfall.
You have any material?
I do.
Oh, nice.
It's actually bad, so
Oh
I thought
no.
it was a bad idea. It was just going to be, it's some sort of auditory feedback. It's number 26. Let me get my book. I got my book out here.
26.
Magic.
Spell is always associated with unusual sounds. Roll d6, crack of thunder. Oh, did you roll it one time? I think you're supposed to always just roll it. Well, you can roll it randomly each time if you want.
Yeah, this is the first time he's cast Featherfall, so.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Now, before you roll it, you can make a decision. Do you want to roll every time, or do you want it to?
Oh, I think it's more fun to roll it differently every time, unless you'd rather.
Yeah. Right.
Okay, so I will roll for manifestation. I'll roll for the spell to see if it goes off.
Okay.
And a d6. Manifestation on this is a d4. Okay. I think it's more fun to roll them randomly every time.
Yeah, me too.
So a 15 for the spell.
Okay.
Wait, plus caster level. Still be 17, so still
Okay, yeah. So you fall, no problem.
okay.
Or you'll get landed.
Yeah. But it does come with the crack of thunder because I rolled a 1 on the d6.
Nice.
And you see Yuna, as he's casting the spell, glow with a wispy feather-like aura of canary yellow. So she starts to glow yellow as she falls to the ground.
You land gently.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, this wall is so smooth. You probably do one of those things where you like run at the wall and you kind of like run up it as far as you can because there's no place really to put your feet on it. And you get about halfway up and you're just like, whoa, 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 and you glow yellow, float down to the ground.
Probably scares the crap out of people at the camp as it's a clear, beautiful, sunny day, and all of a sudden there's thunder.
And she glows and she lands on the ground, no problem. But yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, we're not getting up that way. I look at Deanne and I say, did you have a plan when you were on your way here?
I was going to wait until the demon came out to hunt, and then I was going to slay it with my various weapons that I'm sure I explained to you last session, but I can't remember which weapon she has.
That's fine.
It's probably a spear.
I think so. Sword on her side, actually.
Oh, yeah.
I did write it down.
There you go. A spear and a sword on her side. Yeah.
Yep. Well, I don't know where the demon will come from, as there's no visible wall. That doesn't mean there's not an invisible one. There's something we're missing.
Yes, well, that's what it says, because he was the one who had that information before, right? Yes, there's said to be no entrances that can be seen from the outside.
It can be seen from the outside.
That's right.
You haven't heard any stories about something appearing in moonlight or the right light? Anything like that?
No, people usually avoid this place because it's said to be haunted by demons.
Okay.
I mean, it does seem to be quite a hurdle here. Such a tall wall that cannot be climbed. Perhaps I should make some traps for the demon cat.
But I have to get in there. Somehow I have to get in there.
Oh. Well, maybe you could fly back in on its back if it runs from me. But I'm probably going to kill it.
Luring something out of there and seeing how it comes out might be a way to do this. How do you lure demons? What do you think, Oren? I was like, well, you know, I'm an alchemist. I've never lured demons before. Do you know what the tiger was looking for, Dien? When it attacked your tribe?
It's a demon that wanted to eat their souls. They wanted to destroy us all and eat our souls. That's how demons are.
That's true. That's true. Can we talk? Can I talk to the slug?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like familiar.
The slug familiar, yeah. Or I say, Oren, ask Herman.
Would you?
Since they all have terrible names, Herman. Could call him Gary, I suppose. Or Gary was a snail. Never mind.
Okay, so it's Herman the Slug.
Yeah, the demon slug. What lures demons?
Uh,
I know he's very aloof, but maybe he'll answer you.
exactly. Yeah, I'm trying to find your face for your slug, right? He's aloof, right?
Yeah.
And let's see.
Page 317.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm just bringing him up right now.
No, it's fine.
No, he says, "Whoa, you know, he's aloof." Uh-huh. Typically, we demons don't like to associate with those, the lower species. However, sometimes, eating babies is something you can't stop yourself. You've been out all day. It's a hard day at work. You're just hungry. You're hungry. You don't feel like going home making dinner. You see those babies out there. It's fast. It's easy. You know you're going to regret it later. But,
Okay.
Or virgins.
Or virgins.
Yeah.
Well, that rules out Maya then. All right. Can't use her as bait. Babies or virgins. Well, thank you, Herman, for deigning to talk to me. I know normally you only talk to Oren. All right.
If you were willing to sell me your soul, I might be able to help you.
Well, Oren you already have Orens.
Well, I know, but what if Oren doesn't die for a long time?
How could you help?
I could, if I had your soul, then I could, take it where demons take people's souls. And then you would see other demons.
Oh, that's not quite what I'm looking to do. I'm looking to find a way past this wall.
Right. But if there's demons in there, maybe you'll be able to see them that way. Think about it. It's a pretty good deal.
That might be our very last resort.
I mean, I'll have to devour it eventually, but yeah, I'll let you talk to the demons first.
I think we'll figure something else out before then.
All right. Suit yourself.
We're gonna have to blow it up. Maybe. I don't want to blow it up. Damn it.
You so readily used the blasting powder before.
Well, that was to blow up a statue that...
There was a demon.
It was.
No,
this, I don't really want to attract that kind of attention.
No.
Yeah.
Huh?
Deanne, how often do you think this demon comes out to hunt?
Well, once a year.
And how long has it been? About a year, you said, right?
Yeah, I mean, not yeah.
So he could come out at any time.
That's true. She
Or
said, and then, hold her spear in a more protective manner.
Okay. We haven't tried.
What?
We haven't tried just asking to be let in. Sometimes you just ask. I mean, can't hurt.
Yeah, I mean, she's just, I suppose. We don't usually ask for things in my tribe. We take them.
Sometimes we have to take things. That's true. But I'm going to try asking. She'll go to the very bottom of the wall. She'll touch it and she'll just say, "Can we come in?"
Make a luck check.
Okay. Yeah, 6 under 12.
That's, you hear what sounds like voices on the other side. Sounds like women's voices, all speaking kind of in unison. And they say, "Come in, climb over the wall."
There's no way to climb over this wall. It is very sheer and difficult.
If something is worthwhile, it will be difficult.
True. But we've tried. And we've failed. Is there any way in?
Yes.
Besides climbing, can I know what it is?
You must open the door from the inside.
But I'm outside. Is there a way you could open the door for me? For us?
I cannot.
Why not?
Give me some.
Are you being held here? Why can you not open the door?
This is the place from which we will stay forever. Yes.
Oh.
Each must contribute to their own fate.
Well, that's certainly true. Is there anyone else in there with you?
So many.
And they're all trapped in there?
Once you are here, you can never leave.
Okay. Sounds like a place I really want to go. All right. What is keeping you there?
Huh. We have made our choice. Once the choice is made, it cannot be changed.
Once the choice is made. You chose to stay there forever.
Yes.
So if I was there and I chose to leave, I could leave.
Yes, if you chose to leave.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you. I will try to find a way in.
Come over the wall.
I told you I've tried to come over the wall. I failed. Unless there's a way to get over the wall without climbing. I would think.
We will be here forever.
I look at Diane and Deanne and Orin and say, well, that's not creepy at all.
Yeah. Deanne says, it's probably just a demon trick. Trying to keep us out.
Well, we have to get over this wall.
Yes.
Orin, if you could be a giant again, we could cut down the trees and we could just stack some wood and we could just climb over the wood and climb up the wall. It would take some time, but we could do that. He's like, yes, but I am still spellburned from last time. Or if you're a giant, you might be able to just step over the wall, at least see over it. What do you think, Half Sword? Should we cut down a couple trees and try to build a like a ramp or something? Just set the trees and walk right up the wall from the trees?
You want to climb up the tree against the wall? That sounds like a good plan to me.
I think between the four of us, we could rig something and drag it. Maybe Violet would lend us a kayak. We could put a couple logs in the kayak and build a little bit of a crude stair using logs, so we don't have to blast through. We could pull them on a kayak.
Kayaks are usually for the water.
I know, but between the four of us, we could maybe use it as like a sled.
Oh. Listen, you helped me reunite with my friend, so I will do whatever it takes to help you get into your red fort.
All right. It might take a while, but we'll spend the day getting some. Either if there's no dead trees around that we could use, you know how there's always big dead like birch trees or something in certain places. Yeah, we'll build a little stairway.
All right. Yeah, you could. I mean, you've got a pretty decent amount of people that you could enlist in this project. Yeah, I mean, just I guess Oren's gonna take charge.
Yeah.
Or unless somebody has a particular skill that.
I don't think any of us do. Maybe.
Yeah. So.
Kalava's a dockhand. Maybe he's.
Oh, that's true.
At least he says he is. Thought he was a fisherman, but we'll see.
Maybe he's both.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he'll help. He's hanging out. Yeah, so good. You can roll. It's only DC 10. You can add Oren's into it if you'd like.
Okay. 12.
12?
Yep, 12.
All right. Yeah, I mean, you start to put stuff together and you realize you can do exactly what you're saying. You can build some kind of a ramp or ladder or whatever you want to call it. You know, it takes a bit of work, obviously, to get it 30 feet up in the air. You got to use some wood, and you stand, you stand them up in the air, then you all like kind of lift, move, and lift and move until you're close, and you lean it forward and it lands against the thing. But with some effort and throughout the course of the day, as you're getting kind of at the dusky time of day, you've got this kind of improvised ramp / ladder built.
Nice.
Yeah, up the wall to the red fort.
All right. I'll say I know it's getting dark, but I have to see if I can see what's on the other side. And Oren's like, go for it. So I will climb up, and Yuna will climb up and try to peek.
Okay.
She's going to use her elvish cloak.
Okay. Yeah, you can do a sneak something. What it's called.
Okay. Yeah, so plus 10 plus.
Oh, really? You got how much you got?
Plus 17.
Well, yeah, you're gonna make it. It's only a DC 15. So, yeah, you actually move to the top, swiftly and quietly, and you look down and you see, you're looking across kind of the expanse of what appears to be some kind of a large courtyard that kind of extends around a squat but kind of well built kind of building in the center. You can see there's kind of like roads that have been built by what appear to be some kind of like stalls. They are covered with canopies for the most part, so they don't look like they're like solid stone buildings. All you see that's really stone is this one building in the center. You see below, when you look down there, this is interesting. You see a group of women. There's like a fountain down there, and they seem to be like frolicking.
Ooh.
Yeah. They're like splashing each other and stuff. And they don't see you that as well.
Frolicking in the fountain.
In around the fountain, they're splashing each other, and they seem to be collecting water, and maybe then they decide to frolic.
All right. They just look like regular women. They're not glowy or anything.
Yeah, I know they look like. I mean, they are probably they're definitely like of the race of the people that are kind of the Death World Kingdoms. You know, they
Okay.
kind of look about them as opposed to the people from where you're you are from. But they're not like they don't look magical or anything. No, they look like regular. They're actually quite attractive, all of them.
Okay. Okay. Building in a fountain with a group of women. Okay. It's dark. Right, it's getting towards night, you said?
Yeah, it's like dusk. You know, you've got maybe like another hour or so of daylight. Of course, and obviously there's a 30-foot straight down drop into the.
Right.
And what's probably a little bit interesting too to you is that the wall itself is probably you're actually standing on the wall at this point, I guess, but it's about 5 foot wide. And as you kind of look around, you actually do in fact see what look like you can't tell that they're if they're entrances or not, but you can see that there's like archways kind of periodically that seem to be cut into the sides.
Okay.
You can see it's 5 feet wide, and then like there's like something cut into it. So maybe it could just be a nook, or it could actually be some kind of entrance. It's hard to say from where you are, although there is one that's like almost directly below you.
All right. Almost directly below me, but you can't see it from the outside. That's what they said.
That is correct. You can see it from the outside.
If I look at the archways, I know it's getting dark, but do they have any kind of words or writing above them or around them? Anything?
Yes. You can. They seem to be written in some kind of a um, pictograms, basically like ancient pictograms. It's definitely not like any language you've ever seen before. But you can make a DC 15 check using your intelligence to see if you can interpret maybe some kind of.
Okay. No, Yuna does not know anything.
Yeah, you can see that. Well, I'll say that you can make out that it seems like they all say something slightly different. So it's not like every one of them says the same thing from what you can see, because you can't see all of them.
Right.
You're close enough to read them, but this place is pretty large. It's probably like maybe a quarter of a mile across.
Okay. I will climb back down, tell Orin and Deanne what I've seen, and I'll say, what do you guys think? Cover of night or daylight when there might be less demons? I don't know why I'm associating demons with darkness, considering that the slug is always, around. But I just always have.
Oh, yeah, Dean would say, "Well, do you see any demons?"
There are women in a fountain. They don't look like demons. They look much like the other people I've seen here in the kingdoms. But the fact that they're in there in a fountain frolicking makes me a little nervous.
Women make you nervous.
This situation makes me a little nervous. There's doors that can only be seen from the inside. Strange women saying that once we are inside, just makes me a little nervous, the whole situation. So I'm just wondering what's better, to just go now or wait.
Well, I have waited a long time to be the empress of my people. If you saw the demon tiger, I would go now. If you have not, then I will still go if you go. We must kill these demons before they take more innocent lives.
Well, now that we can get to the top of the wall, I can secure spikes or my hook somehow, either to the wall or to this structure we've made. And we can lower a rope down to get down into the space.
That sounds like an excellent plan.
You know, let's just go now.
Cover of darkness it is.
Yes.
Half-Sword takes his sword that he's normally kind of carrying in the scabbard. He takes the strap that he has and he straps it onto himself so he can climb more easily.
Okay, and let's go. Let's do this.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, you make your way up the trees to the top of the wall. And yeah, as before, you can see these women down there, they're frolicking. Now there seems to be some lanterns or such being lit in various places. You can't really make out where they are exactly, but you see like little kind of bits of light shining. They lit all the places where it's lit. You can't really see the lanterns. Maybe they're like just out of view. So you can actually see just like dots of kind of this warm light kind of throughout the area. And yeah, these women, they're frolicking. Yeah.
Yep. Well, we're going to climb down the rope.
Okay, you're going to drop the rope down into the space?
Yes.
Okay, and you're securing it to one of the birch trees or whatever? Because
Yeah.
You can't really secure it to the wall because the wall is absolutely completely smooth.
That's what I figured, yeah.
I mean, I guess you could probably bang a spike in, but you could try to bang a spike in. All right, yeah. So you drop you just go up, you drop it down so you can climb down, and when you do, the women stop frolicking and they look up, and they look up and they say, "Jump!" And everybody who's up there can make a willpower save, DC 8.
Oh no. Okay. Yuna, let's see, willpower. She gets +1. Oh, she rolled an 8. A 7 + 1 is an 8, exactly.
Wow, okay.
Orin gets a +1. He rolled a 16, so he's good.
You can roll for the other ones. You roll for Half-Sword there. He gets +1.
Okay. 17.
Okay, and Dan actually gets +2.
Ooh. A 20.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah. And when you all kind of look down there and nobody jumps, you can see they're looking up at you and they're like, "Jump!" And then all the flesh falls away from their skin, and you see their skeletal, and they kind of like have their arms stretched like that, and the skeletons drop to the ground. And now, when you look down into the courtyard, you just see several pretty much rotted away, but not completely necessarily skeletons on the ground. And also, the fountain is no longer shedding water, so you stop hearing the sound of the fountain.
See, I told you they made me nervous.
Huh. Good eye. Half-Sword's eye. I generally avoid women.
All right. We're still going in though, right? So
Of course.
Let's climb down. And Yuna will climb down first with her cloak to kind of.
Yeah, you slip down the rope quietly, the bottom, and then followed by the crew, one with
Yes.
the slip on the shoulder, the Toei princess, and the Half-Sword.
Yes.
As you get to the bottom, this place looks. I mean, now that you're lower, you can see that sure enough, like there's a lot of these would be the structures you were seeing from above. They've basically got these like various kind of canvasy roofs covering, and they're being held up by primarily like posts that are pounded into the ground. So they're kind of like open air structures. You can see now that archway. You look into it, and of course it's dark. It's good because you're looking now inside of something, and you see that inexplicably it seems to go in about 10 feet, and there is actually a set of doors there, like large doors, and on like gates basically, and on either side, like so it's 10-foot long space. On either side, there's a statue of a soldier, and then there's the doors about 10 feet out. The statue that is well, the closest one to you actually will be the one if you're looking in on the right-hand side. It actually is, it's got its hands like on its stomach kind of area, as if holding it in pain. And you can see that it looks like there's a dagger stuck into its stomach. The one on the left side looks like it possibly had just thrown a dagger because it's kind of like.
Oh.
And they're made of some kind of metal, probably bronze from your best.
That's unusual to see. We'll say. Dagger stuck in his stomach. Half sword, have you ever seen anything like this?
Well, it doesn't seem very sportsmanlike to throw a dagger when you can just run them through with the sword properly.
Yeah. Or just not throw a sword through somebody or a dagger through somebody's stomach.
Well, maybe he deserved it. Look at him.
Yeah, are there soldiers? Are they like Death Row Kingdom soldiers, like the people?
No. Yeah. I mean, yes. But the armor and stuff, because they're like I said, they're like soldiers, so you can see their armor. Their armor is very strange. It's not like anything that you've seen. It's almost like a scale. Well, maybe you've seen something similar where you're from, but they've been something. They wear very lightweight clothing here, and you actually haven't seen anybody wearing any armor at all here. These guys have like almost like coats of scale and like girdles, which seem to be, well, one guy's got a dagger stuck in his girdles that seem to would have hold weapons maybe. And then they have like the skirts, the skirts of scale going down, and like heavy boots. I mean, it's all made out of bronze, so, but you get the idea. And they're wearing helmets with great plumes on them.
Bronze. How tall are they?
They're like man size. They're maybe a tiny bit bigger, but they seem to be normal size, if you will. And they are actually on just slightly above the ground. They're not actually, it's not standing on the ground. They're on like plinths, but they're not super tall. Like they're probably like, the overall statue is maybe like 8 feet tall, they're basically standing on like a 1.5 to 2 foot plinth, and then the rest of them is 6 foot taller ish men.
Okay. And I'd have to pass between them to go to the door.
That's correct.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I guess theoretically you could go above them if Suishas has some kind of way to do that, because the space is taller than that, but because the arch goes almost all the way to the top. So, I mean, you could get above them, but otherwise, yeah.
Well, before we go any further into this place, I want to see if the door's open from the inside. We'll say. But I'm not just going to walk straight through in between these two statues because, the dagger might. But she gets down on her belly and she's going to try like army crawl.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Like just under them and then stand back up on the other side. You can armor crawl.
Correct.
All right, that's fair. Yeah, so you can drop down on your belly and you crawl across the ground. You realize, of course, probably I didn't say it before because I don't know, just didn't come up. But now you're on your belly. This is actually it's cobbled in here, cobblestone.
Oh, okay.
And you get underneath and you kind of get up to the door, and you I guess try to push them open.
Yeah, if they push, do they push or do they pull?
They do push it if you were trying to open it.
Yeah, I'll try to open them.
You feel a very strong resistance, almost like they're barred in some way, but of course you don't see a bar.
Okay. Very strong resistance. Can I make Orin army crawl as well and bring him in and see if he doesn't have any kind of detect magic yet, so I don't know what he could do. Okay, well, I'm glad we secured the rope and I'll crawl back out.
Yeah, the rope is still there.
But the pictograms and things, does he have any idea?
Yeah, you can roll a DC 15 usually.
Okay. He has a little bit better chance. Still no. 11.
Yeah, I mean, he's not sure. He definitely can tell that they're different, though. Like they're similar but different. It's almost like they probably denote the same thing, but each of them denotes a different version of it or a different way of saying it. I guess is the best that you can get from it.
Okay. Denote the same thing, but a different way of saying it.
Right, or a different version of the thing. We'll say.
That makes sense.
Well, giving too much information, it makes sense.
Right.
Nothing should ever make sense.
I mean, given what we know, it makes sense.
Yeah, no, I'm just giving you a hard time, of course.
Of course you are. All right. All right. Let's.
And you know what? This seems like probably a pretty good place.
Oh, all right.
Because we started at 3:30, right? We started a little bit late, but it's 5 now. Right, that's right. We usually run for an hour and a half. Well, it went by fast this time. But you got in. You are inside the Red Fort.
Finally.
So we'll see what happens next week if you can maybe figure out what these statues are all about. And yeah, let's leave it at that. Thank you for playing.